thought it had a really interesting approach to light and dark and to colors in particular. I think the opening had a sort of drab aesthetic, and I thought that as we moved towards the other sequences of the performance, that she used color in a way that I thought was interesting to both reflect happiness and anxiety. So I thought it was an interesting transition from one of those sequences with her in the center with a quite colorful dress, and later on there's a red lighting sequence setup that I thought worked quite well, both emotionally and performance wise. And I thought that the title was interesting, and the backdrop around the definition of the word I thought gave a good context of the overall piece. And I thought that the piece sort of tried to match the energy and the intent of that word in a way that I thought was reflected well both in the performance and in the visual aesthetic of the overall piece. So I thought it was well performed, had a good match of editing and music that I thought worked well, and just had a great energy that was maintained that I thought created a narrative form to the piece.
Had a lot of interesting special effects, especially with the kaleidoscope effects. We see this woman constantly changing her appearance, sort of struggling with her identity, perhaps. We had a lot of mirrors incorporated into this dance film. At first, she's using them, and then eventually she throws them away. So it really felt like someone struggling with their identity and struggling with other people's perception, perhaps, or other people's ideas of what they should look like or be, and eventually landing on acceptance of themselves. I thought the lighting effects in this was really cool, and the editing as well helped to bring that, identity crisis effect to its full potential. Also, the camera angles were all very interesting and dynamic in this film.
It was some really cool camera work on this. Some very cool transitions, some close-up shots. I think the camera work really stood out in this piece for a dance piece. I think it's really fun that you give a definition to this word at the top of the piece, and then you see that enacted through the dancers throughout. I think that's really cool, and I think it gives more context as to what's going on, and feeling just like the energy that these dancers are giving throughout the piece. Yeah, overall, it's really dynamic, really well shot, and it came together to just be very entertaining.
The dancers were very passionate, especially the lead dancer. I enjoyed the use of fades and split screens and the close-up camera work, notably of grasping hands and corset ties and beauty queen attire. Scary gunshot sounds, but the music was lively and the percussion was very upbeat. Clever use of mirrors in the piece to reveal the disconcerting expressions of the lead. The harsh male voice, often referring to a female monkey, was quite ominous. Lots of talented dance work here.
A dark and mysterious tone. We're following a woman, but not allowing us to see her at first, as she's always existing in the shadow. And it feels at most times like we're peeking into this private moment. I like how the camera follows her as if it's someone like right over her shoulder, right behind her. And it becomes light and colorful once we shift to the ensemble piece. The music becomes more frantic and playful as they get her ready for a beauty pageant. Clever with the sound design here, with the pageant sort of playing in the background. And then the camera closed up on her as she's being pawed at by several hands was very dynamic. The mirror for me feels like a place where she checks in with herself, where she kind of gets a sense of peace. And the ending where they pack her away in a box, it almost felt like doll-like she was being played with, and now they were done with her. That was a very dynamic image as well.
Just the opening was really cool with her looking behind her, and then the visual after that followed is like a kaleidoscope, and it really drew me in right away. Music was very interesting throughout. I really liked the performances and the choreography rather. So the performance, the choreography, the story, just beautiful, and beautiful costumes as well. Great use of lighting. It was very interesting, and I really liked the colors, especially the yellow.